The Sink campaign seems to have had lots of issues in getting traction and getting rolling. She now has to go out because polls show over half of the people in Florida who are likely voters don't really even know who she is. Some don't know if she's a man or a woman. So she really has to get out and identify herself and get her message out there. And I think one of the things to watch is whether or not the Sink campaign will attempt to follow up on what the McCollum campaign did and stick Scott with the failures, or not the failures perhaps, but the problems that HCA Columbia had when he was the chief executive officer. The fact they had to pay a large fine. He's never been, much less found of any wrongdoing, not even indicted in any of that stuff. But that's the effort McCollum's campaign made to try and to hurt Scott. It didn't work, apparently, based on the voting results. It's going to be interesting to see if she tries to do that to knock him down, or if she tries to build her own image, I think, in a more positive manner.
Well, it didn't. You said something very profound there. It didn't work, that kind of attack on Scott in terms of his business dealings. Can it work? Is this a winning formula, John?
Yeah, I'm not convinced that it didn't work.
Okay.
I mean, Scott won this race, but he won it narrowly over McCollum. And I think there are still questions. I mean, the McCollum campaign was reveling in the fact that they got hold of a deposition on the last weekend before the primary in which Scott, 10 years ago, had taken the Fifth Amendment 75 times over the course of a 33-page document, just refusing to answer questions about Columbia HCA, the company that he headed and which later paid a $1.7 billion settlement and fines to settle Medicare and Medicaid accusations by the federal government of fraud. So I think Scott's personal history remains a question because people don't know him. He's an outsider, and I think Sink will be exploiting that. But as Brent said, I think too, Sink also has to provide something much more positive, and that she too is a fresh face. She runs the risk right now of looking an awful lot like Bill McCollum. Another cabinet member who's been in Tallahassee, who's decrying the problems of Tallahassee, but she's been part of them. So she has to sort of separate herself from that too, and really offer the Democratic alternative to what will probably be an extremist Rick Scott.